back with the Crown Vic, and I'm gonna start fixing the rust on the passenger side here. I already got it jacked up. I got the wheel lugs off and stuff. In the last video I did, I fixed the rust on the fender for the driver's side and painted the wheel. It's holding up so far. It rained last night and looks like maybe rain clouds today, but I just want to start this side. It's not as bad. There's no rust holes right through so far. I'm gonna take the fiber wheel, start taking all this rust off here. Decided to let my air compressor cool down a little bit, and I got the wheel for the passenger side, and I'm just gonna scrub it down with Scotch-Brite again and spray it with that caliper paint. Alright, I just got done grinding all the rust away from the inner edge of this fender, and it's a lot worse than I thought. Yeah, a few holes there, but that's alright. I'll just stuff it with some filler and call it good enough. Good enough for the winter. I finished grinding the bottom part of this fender, and there's a few surprises. There's some Bondo there and a couple holes, so I am gonna have to mix up some Bondo and slap it on the fender here. Right, mixed up some filler and I threw it on the fender, and then I put some primer on top just to cover the bare metal spots, because it looks like it's gonna rain tonight and it's 5 o'clock and I gotta get to the store and I won't have time to finish it today. Alright, so I just finished sanding the filler and putting primer on, and I had some runs, so I sanded the primer a bit, and it starts raining. So I think I'm gonna just put a good coat of primer on there and call it a night. Alright, we got some sun. It quit raining last night. I managed to get a couple coats in before it started raining, and then I took the tape off because when that masking tape gets wet and dries, it's a bit of a mess to get off. It's really cool out here. It's like 10 degrees out, so I just got this heat gun and I'm heating up the metal before. I got the wheel on and the sides all painted, tape taken off. And I jacked up this side and starting to work on the rust here. I found a lot of Bondo. I knew this side was gonna be the worst. I just decided if I'm going this far, I might as well take the bumper off and, you know, do a little quick job here and call it good. And I don't know if the people who did the work here owned a hammer or not, but they could have easily knocked this out instead of just filling it with Bondo. The same with here. So I'm gonna take a dolly and a hammer and straighten that out. Right, just after a few minutes I got it all hammered out there. And here, way better. You didn't need that much body filler there. I had to stop working on the car last night. It was getting a bit late and there was other stuff I had to take care of. So I threw some primer on the bare metal. And I spent some more time straightening out the metal here. There's a bunch of Bondo here that wasn't needed because there's a bunch of spots here where it was all caved in, so I hammered it out straight and grinded this Bondo out. and I ground some more rust down here, and then inside all the paint in here started chipping. Looks like there's some pits here. I'll just get some filler and fill in those rust pits. Yeah, I took away all the loose paint here, put some primer on it for overnight. So I think I'm gonna give this a quick sand and put some filler on it. And I noticed when I bought the car, originally I thought this was a decal they couldn't get off from when it was in service. And I'm figuring out now that this is a line from when they taped off the car and they sprayed it with primer, and then they just painted over the primer line here. They didn't even sand it or nothing. Right, I got some good 80 grit scratches in there, and I'm mixing up some filler. Gonna be using a bit more this time, so I got a bigger piece of cardboard. Just finished spreading some filler on. I put a lot of hardener in there because it was 0 degrees out this morning, so I don't want this stuff to stay gummy forever. While that filler dries, I'm gonna take care of this wheel. Alright, that looks way better. Alright, filler's all dry, and I just got finished sanding it down with some 80 grit, just roughly. And then I'm gonna go over it with, I think it's 150. It's just sandpaper that I have lying around from other jobs and stuff. All sanded down with 150. Yeah, I ran into some lumpy stuff here, it wasn't straight, so I sanded all that old body filler. Got the primer sprayed on, and I put a little bit of rock guard on the inside of the wheel well, right there where it was peeling. I ended up putting a bit more primer on just to hide the scratches up here, and I gotta decide what to do with this. That was from the person before me, and I got a little smart and I got a piece of cardboard here acting as kind of a windbreak, a little paint booth, I guess. And it's a nice balance between the primer and the heat gun. As soon as I put the primer on the car, it's so cool out, it just wants to sag right away. But it's not going too bad. There's just one spot I gotta sand out here, spray a bit of primer there, and I'm gonna start painting it. Just got done spraying it. So I ended up just spraying over top of that junk from the other person there. It looks okay, good enough. I might just have enough paint for the other side. Got the car on the ground, freshly painted wheel on there. Looks a lot better. I haven't tightened the bumper up all the way yet. I'll do that tomorrow when the paint's more dry. And I'll take the tape off too. But Looking so much better. Now I just gotta do this side. Shouldn't be as bad as that side. Got the car flipped around. Started taking the left rear wheel off. And it just started raining. I'm gonna do as much as I can. While it was raining, I ended up getting the wheel off and the bumper part partially here, and I got the fuel door cover off because I want to paint right here. And the rain let up a little bit, so I was able to sand these two rust spots out and spray some primer on there so it didn't rust anymore. Taped a little bit of this off for a bit of protection because I want to grind this nasty rust off. I'm going to be using this fiber wheel. Just finished grinding all the rust off. A little bit on the inside of the door jambs. And I was cleaning up the wheel well. There's this rubber protectant or whatever they sprayed on here. It was all peeling off. So I don't know where the pieces are, but it was all peeling up here, and there was a bunch of stuff getting caught in there, like salt and that, and rusting it away, so I just cut all that out. And I was knocking a bunch of scale off the frame here. I spray that with some rock guard, clean it up a bit. I ended up throwing some rock guard on, just in the real rusty spots. The frame rail there, I'm gonna have to spray some more. I was just scraping off some more rust on the frame rail, or the frame, sorry, and I found all this stuff, so I scraped off all the loose rust. I'm just gonna spray some rock guard on it. Next year I'll probably grind it off. I don't have the time or money to do it right now. And right now I got the primer edges all feathered out and ready to paint. Just got done throwing some paint on it. Looks pretty decent, except for there and there. I should have sanded the paint more, but oh well, just quick fix. Looks way better. Now I get to the wheel. Got the wheel done just in time because I'm running out of paint. I had a tiny bit of paint left, so I'm just spotting in some places here. Some little spots. Okay, I got done touching up those spots, took the tape off, and I started rock guarding. Got all underneath there. That side too. And I got up in here on both sides. I'm out of rock guard, so that's it for that task. Right out here just cleaning stuff up, putting things back together. It rained last night, so yeah, good news, the paint didn't melt off. I think we'll be in good shape. All back together. It's looking pretty good. The only thing left to do would be to take it to the car wash, so I think I'm gonna go do that right now. Just got back from the car wash. The car is running and looking amazing. And more good news, the paint didn't wash off, so I think I'm all set for winter. Like, I know I didn't do a professional rust fix on it, and it's just gonna rust again, but at least it won't look like trash over the winter. The only thing I gotta do is change the oil and maybe see if I can get this tire rebeaded or whatever they call it, because it loses air overnight on real cold winters. So I got a lot to do before the snow falls, so I'm gonna end this video here. Later.